brings me to life when I eat. It makes me forget about the bad parts just for that little bit of time.
The food is filling a void. Like, that's the only thing I have left, I feel like.
For some reason you think if you just hold to your life, then maybe all these issues just magically will go away and you will lose weight.
Some people on My 600 Pound Life are seemingly willing to risk it all for food. Pennywise could lure them into the sewers with a 10-piece chicken nugget. Just tell them it's Ronald McDonald. They would follow the red balloons thinking they're candy apples. They would accidentally join the Squid Games thinking it was about calamari. But there exists one train wreck whose love for food is unlike any other, who has quite literally eaten himself out of house and home.
Me and my brother live in my van because we're homeless.
Hey, can I get 6 of the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, 6 hash browns, 2 triple griddles, 3 big breakfasts?
I'll probably eat 4 or 5 times, 6 times a day. I'd skip getting a hotel room because that's 2 more meals a piece for us. I'm just hoping I'm not close to 700.
This is Dominic, 700 pounds of puff pastries and poverty, who was given a chance by Dr. Now to completely change his life. But unfortunately, he couldn't even change his draws. If you're new here, my name is MoMo, professional internet menace, here to bring you savage but fair commentary on all your favorite shows. And today we're breaking down everything that happened in Dominic's iconic episode of My 600 Pound Life, and analyzing how a houseless man ate himself to the size of one. When they said your body is a temple, this is not what they meant. But speaking of, how have you been loving your body this year? Balessa and I are actually teaming up to bring you an epic spicy toy giveaway. Literally everyone who signs up using the link in my description will win a free rose suction toy with their order. Yes, everyone, honey, that includes you. Now, you already know which rose toy I'm talking about, the one that went viral. It didn't go viral for nothing, guys. It has 10 amazing suction modes so you can personalize your experience. It's rechargeable, splash proof, silent but deadly. Don't let this cute little thing fool you. It's a beast. Now, if you haven't heard of Balessa, it's a by women for everyone sexual wellness brand that focuses on empowering us all to explore our pleasure without shame or stress, because there's nothing shameful about self-care. They are the #1 most trusted brand in the game, and I can personally say the quality of their toys is fantastic. Their toys are made from medical grade, body safe silicone that is so soft to the touch. And they come in these cute little charging cases that are discreet and travel friendly, so you can store them away without worry. Their shipping is also super discreet. They will send it in a box labeled Containers Plus or something similar, so you don't have to worry about nosy neighbors or anyone else getting up in your business. Their warranty program is unmatched. 1 year, no hassle replacements, and a 10-year quality guarantee. I have never seen that with other brands. And yes, it's true, if your fur baby destroys your toy, Balessa will send you another one in exchange for a picture of your dog. Now, I can't show you most of the toys here because y'all know how YouTube is, but you can see exactly what you'll get once you click the link in the description. Balessa will legit send you a free rose suction toy when you sign up using the link in my description and place an order, so go grab yours while you can. Thank you so much to Balessa for partnering with me. Now let's get back to the video. Let's go ahead and get into it, but before we do, please make sure you subscribe and like the video. Because if not, my manager Nova is gonna claw up both of our cheeks. If we don't reach 100K this year, somebody's gonna be hearing the loud saxophones, if you know what I mean. Now, without further ado, let me tell you the tale of Dump Truck Dominic. So I'm gonna let you know right now that this episode came out the gate swinging, honey. So I'm gonna need you to buckle up right the hell now. Dominic is 37 years old from California. and we see these two fools piled up in a car looking like some damn stored furniture. Dominic gets up and he lets us know that he's struggling. You know, his living condition and his health condition are both horrible because him and his brother live in the van.
Because my life is such a mess right now in so many ways. But my living situation and health are my two biggest struggles right now because they're the worst they've ever been. Me and my brother live in my van because we're homeless and my size makes my situation harder.
Yes, they are homeless. Now this is where I need to make an important disclaimer because I don't want none of y'all coming for me. I'm not here to bash anyone for being homeless, okay? We are all one unfortunate event away from being homeless ourselves. What I'm here to do is judge Dominic and how he responded to the opportunities that were presented to him, which was badly. It was a bad response. Just getting that out the way. So at first you're like, oh, you know, what happened? Like y'all down on your luck or what? You know, just wait. Okay, just wait. Now the brother over there, his name is James. He's the one with the shiesty on. And he's like, what's up, bro? You want to get a hotel room or something so we can take a shower today? And Dominic is like, yeah, you know, it's been a while. In his little Michael Jackson voice that he got.
Do we have enough money for a room?
Yeah, I think we might. Yeah, we want to take a shower. It's been a while.
Excuse me? What the fuck is a while? What do you mean by that, a while? Those words have no business being strung together like that. Well, what the fuck you mean? So Dominic is like, you know, it's not easy being out here on these streets, all right? These streets ain't for everyone. You gotta have that dog in you.
It's not very easy to go to sleep in a van on the street. There's always people around, other homeless people, addicts, and then we also gotta keep a lookout for cops.
Addicts? Mofo, you are the motherfucking addict, but I'm not allowed to talk about that on YouTube, so let me shut up. But I do understand being afraid of the cops because you damn sure can't outrun them. So they roll up to Mickey D's for breakfast, right? And the order that they put in is enough to feed the rest of the homeless people on the block.
6 of the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits.
Okay.
6 hash browns. 2 triple griddles. Can I get 3 of the big breakfasts and a large chocolate shake with whipped cream?
They ordered a hotel's room worth of food and these bitches are homeless. This bitch ordered a chocolate shake for breakfast. Why is that even being served on the breakfast menu, McDonald's? He ordered 3 of the big breakfasts. Y'all, do y'all know how big the McDonald's big breakfast is, bitch? So in the confessional, he says that he's eating 4 to 6 times a day.
I get pretty hungry pretty quickly, so I'll probably 4 or 5 times, 6 times a day.
And I'm like, where the hell is this money coming from? Then they explain where they get their income from food.
But me and James are on a fixed income. I get some food stamps, but they don't last long.
Yeah, I bet they don't, playa. I bet they don't.
And we try to save up to get a hotel once a week or every 2 weeks so we could shower and rest in a bed.
Every 1 to 2 weeks. You mean to tell me y'all are going 7 to 14 days without washing your ass? Oh, fuck no. I bet that van smells like dick, cheese, and depression. I bet you a fly wouldn't even land on these mofos, bro. And before you think I'm judging them for their living situation, just know that Dominic prefers this. He said if he could, he would stretch a shower to just once a month because every time they get a hotel, that's about 2 extra meals he could have ate.
If we didn't need to clean up, and if James didn't want a bed every now and then, I'd skip getting a hotel room because that's 2 more meals apiece for us that we don't get to have each time we do this.
This bitch measures everything in units of meals. When they put gas in the car, he's like, yeah, put about 1.5 meals worth in there. Now, imagine how much money they have spent on food that could have went to getting a roof over their head or at least taking more showers, bro. He'd rather have food than a place to stay. The only house he cares about is Texas Roadhouse. This is some dystopian Hunger Games type shit. I mean, he started at District 1 and he ate himself to District 12. He said that he would do this, he would skip more showers, but he has all these cracks and crevices that will start to get infections and his skin will start falling off, right? So they gotta take a shower every once in a while, and they get to the hotel and this mofo calls himself taking a shower. And y'all, Lord have mercy, I'm gonna have to censor all of this shit. This boy is so damn rusty from not bathing properly, and he just got so much jiggling and wobbling all about, baby. It was like wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble. And I'm gonna have to put a censor bar over everything, over his chest, because his titty's bigger than mine. By the way, the whole time he's bathing, I'm not seeing any soap. I'm not seeing a sud, no rub-a-dub-dub, nothing. Dom says that showering is really hard for him, so he just does the best he can because, you know, it's gonna be about another 2 weeks before he touches water again.
Bathing for me is physically exhausting, mentally exhausting, but I try to do the best I can because it'll be at least another week or two before we save up and do this again. And it's getting even harder for me each time I do it.
So they get into Dominic's and his brother's backstory, which I must warn you is very sad and kind of triggering. I'm putting a trigger warning in right now. However, it's important to cover this because while we're sitting here judging, which I am, it's also important to understand how someone gets to this point in their life, right? So Dom and his brother were raised in a good family. They always loved food. He said that he used to sneak tortillas and shit even from a young age. His mom and dad did eventually split up. His dad left, and eventually they lost all contact with the dad, who basically fell off the face of the earth.
My size has always been an issue for me because growing up, me and my whole family loved to eat. Before dinner, I would sneak a couple of tortillas, put butter on them, and then go hide and eat them. My mom and dad were good parents, but they started to have issues together in their marriage. And then the fights got worse until my mom got to a point when I was 9 that she kicked my dad out. And after that, we didn't even hear from him. And it was like he just stopped caring about us.
And up to their dad leaving, everything was great. But when their dad abandoned them, that really fucked them up. Their mom had to start working a lot to provide. So Dominic would spend a lot of his time at a family member's house where he was unfortunately sexually assaulted by a family member.
Because my mom worked a lot, there were times when I had to go stay at a family member's house. The family member that started to abuse me was only a couple years older than me. I didn't tell my mom about the abuse because I thought I would get in trouble. I was ashamed. But every time it happened, it made me want to eat a lot. It still haunts me to this day. I've just been coping with it ever since.
And you can tell that Dominic still has so much trauma and pain from what he went through. And a lot of people on this show have been through similar abuse. As he got older, the abuse did stop, but that obviously didn't negate the damage. So he just kept eating to deal with all his issues. And at 14 years old, he was 300 pounds.
By the time I was 14, I weighed 300 pounds.
300 pounds at 14 years old. How the fuck did someone not intervene? How do you see that as a parent and just choose to not make changes? That's what I don't understand, bro. He was wide as he was tall. After high school, he held a job for about 2 months and then he quit because of his weight. And after that, he proceeded to just stay at home, play video games, and eat all day. And I guess his mom just let him do that too.
My weight just kept climbing. And after high school, that didn't change. I got a job, but I had to quit it after 2 months because of my weight. I ended up just staying home all day. And all I did was basically watch TV, play video games, and eat.
Eventually, the mom was diagnosed with diabetes because, she too also had serious issues with her eating habits. And his mom ended up passing away when Dominic was about 34 years old, which just crushed him.
Then when I was 25, we found out my mom had diabetes, was just in decreasing health. So after that, me and my brother took care of her. And that lasted almost 8 years where we did that. And then my mom passed away when I was about 34, and that was devastating.
Because his mom was, struggling with her own health, before she passed away, she did encourage Dominic to get healthy.
Before my mom passed away, she did encourage me to get healthy.
I'm sure he's making her real proud with that. Now, apparently there was a lot of drama surrounding the family house after their mom's passing, and no one was paying the mortgage or the bills, so the bank confiscated that shit.
That was about 4 years ago that my mom passed away, and she was the one who kept the rest of the family in line.
We had the motivation to keep the house from being sold, but a lot of our family members conspired to get whatever they could out of it and never pay rent. Then eventually after my mom died, nobody was paying any bills, so the house was sold by the county.
And that's how Dominic and his brother ended up on the streets. Now, they tried to put all the blame on the other family members for losing the house, but y'all weren't working or paying bills either. You said yourself that you were staying at home playing video games all day. So I'm just a little bit confused by that, Dominic. Anyway, as sad and as horrible as Dominic's story is, he's damn near 40 years old now, okay? He got gray hair. And although the bad things that happened to him are not his fault, the tough reality of the situation is that he is still accountable for his life, right? He is still responsible for the life he has today as a grown-ass man. And as an SA victim myself, I truly do understand how debilitating that trauma can be, but no one is gonna do the healing for you, bro. Anywho, Dominic knows that he's running out of time. He feels guilty for putting so much pressure on his brother because his brother has to do everything. He knows that food is destroying his life.
I do feel like a burden to my brother. The stress of him having to find a job and also having to worry about me is hard for him, so it makes me feel guilty that my brother has to take care of me. I'm very tired of this life.
But he pulled out the rest of that McDonald's though.
I feel like I'm in a cage because there's no way my body could take much more of being like this. I just really hope it's not going to be too late.
So now it's time for them to officially start their journey. And of course, they have to travel to Houston to see Dr. Now, but they broke. They ain't got no money. So their cousin Gina comes on the scene and she is going to give them a few dollars so they can make the trip, because she knows that Dominic is running out of time. So cousin Gina gets in Dom's ass and she is like, remember what you told me your wish was? Remember what you told me your dream was? And Dominic was like, barbecue? And Gina was like, no, dumbass. You told me that you wanted to go to the beach, that you wanted to visit your big ass at the beach.
I know last time when I said, we were gonna set a goal, what did you want to do? And you said,
barbecue, yeah. Barbecue, get some barbecue.
No, you said go to the beach. You have to do something, Dominic. I just feel like there's nothing like I can do. You know what I mean? You have to do it.
So they get ready to go to Houston, right? And they get a tune-up on the car, they get some supplies, and they are ready to hit the road.
We got everything we need ready to head out on the road to Houston. Without any traffic, the drive should be like 26, 27 hours. And
This could be a life-changing moment for Dominic, something that he needs. So I'll be there to help, but I think he knows this is his last chance.
And James, the brother, is talking a lot of shit, right? And I get it, but you're big too, bitch. Like, your back is bigeth too. Like, hold on now. So it takes him a total of 4 damn days to get to Houston, right? And on the way there, these fools are just fighting the entire time. because James, the brother, he wants to try to save the money up, maybe stop at hotels more. But Dominic, okay, dump truck Dom over there, he wants to skip the hotels and spend more on food.
James has been telling me we can't stop too often for food because he wants us to conserve more money. But I told him I'd rather skip the hotels and save money that way. And we're just fighting a lot about the money and planning, and that makes me want to eat more.
So they're arguing about the money and shit, and this is the first real hint we get that Dominic is kind of selfish as fuck.
It's my turn to sleep in the back tonight. I think you had it yesterday, didn't you?
No, you slept there last night.
I think I could sleep back there again tonight because my legs are hurting me again.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, thanks.
So after 4 whole days, they finally make it to Houston. They do get a hotel room when they get to Houston so they can wash their ass before they step into Dr. Now's office, right? And the next day, we see them rolling into Dr. Now's office, same stank ass beanies on, and Dominic knows that he's over 600 pounds, but he's hoping that he's not pushing 700 pounds.
There hasn't been a scale big enough for me to get my weight, so I'm worried it's climbed a lot higher than 600. And I'm just hoping I'm not close to 700.
You might as well be. You might as well be 700 pounds, boy. I'm sorry to tell you. So Dr. Now comes in and he's like, okay, I see both you and your brother like to eat. How's your mobility? And Dom is like, what mobility? And then Dr. Now is like, well, what do y'all do for work? And they're like, what's that?
How's your activity?
Limited, none.
How much you can walk before you get tired?
I'll say a few yards.
You're not working now, huh?
No,
So then, does your brother work?
no.
And then Dr. Now is like, well, how in the hell do y'all make a living? And they're like, we don't. We homeless.
You don't work, and he doesn't work. How do you make a living if you're not working?
Well, we're homeless right now. We're living in our van.
And every question they answered just led to more questions from Dr. Now. Dr. Now was like, well, shit, if you can't move and you can't work and you can't pay rent, how the fuck y'all getting this money for food? Food stamps? And they're like, yeah, we get government assistance. They're spending all their fucking government assistance money on junk food.
How do you get money to eat? Your food stamp or
Yeah,
what?
food stamps. We would get general aid and food stamp.
This is why we can't have nice things. They said they eat a lot of junk food and that they eat cold soup and shit.
What kind of food supply y'all have at your van?
Junk food, chips,
Junk food.
cold stuff that we could just eat, out of the can.
We eat a lot of soups.
Yeah, soups.
Cold, and like ravioli
pasta.
in a can.
I bet this bitch could just clear out a soup kitchen, bro. Like, imagine you're homeless, right? You're starving. You haven't ate shit in 3 days but a pack of damn peanuts, right? And you get in line for the soup kitchen, right? And they're like, sorry, sir, we gave our last bowl of soup to that gentleman over there. And you turn around and you see this bitch. Are you or are you not throwing hands? So Dr. Now is like, okay, y'all really gotta get y'all shit together, bro. Like, we're gonna get you a social worker, see what we can do, see if we can get you some resources or something like that. But in the meantime, both of y'all need to be on this diet.
Let's get you to a homeless shelter, or we'll see about public housing, because you may be qualified for some assistance, and we will have to get a social worker to work with you and see what we can do. So at the meantime, you're gonna have to change your eating habit, both of you. I want you to eat only 3 times a day, no stacking.
Wait a minute. I'm only here for moral support.
I didn't sign up for this. All of this.
And the brother is like, whoa there, brother. I'm just here to boost morale. And Dr. Now was like, nah, bitch. The only thing you're about to boost is your motherfucking metabolism because you getting on this diet too. So Dr. Now was like, I'm warning y'all right now, this is not gonna be easy, like at all. So don't come in here with the bullshit and the excuses. When you come up in here next, you better have my numbers, because I'm letting you know right now, if you wanna do this, it's gonna be hard. You know, it's time to grow up. So I'm gonna give you a weight loss goal to drop 60 pounds in 2 months. You hear me, boy? And Dominic was like, yes, sir.
What I want to see from you, Dominic, is in 2 months, I want you to lose 60 pounds, okay?
Yes.
So this is going to be a very easy goal. But doing that is not going to be easy. So don't come back in and say, it was very difficult to follow diet because I'm stressed and I got this, I got this. Nobody said that's going to be easy.
So Dr. Now leaves the room, and James is like, I didn't like the focus on me.
I don't like the focus on me.
Boy, you're sitting there with that tight-ass beanie on, cutting off your circulation. You need some damn focus on you. So it cuts to 1 week later, and we check in with the boys, and they are saying that they have made this plan. And I'm like, what plan do you need to follow besides the one that Dr. Now gave you? Since they have no way of preparing these meals, they decide that they're going to skip the hotels so they have more money to eat at restaurants, because restaurants have healthier options. This boy gets to the restaurant and orders a crispy chicken sandwich.
And right now we agreed to not use any money we have left on hotels and instead use it to go to restaurants to eat, because we can't go to fast foods because there's no healthy options there. But I just need to make sure I stick to eating like I need. So I think it's going well right now.
Choices.
See, this is the moment when they start to piss me off in the episode. I don't know where to begin. I mean, do I begin with the fact that they definitely could have found a better way to prepare healthy meals, such as getting one of those plug-in car appliances or the pre-prepped meals? Or the fact that they went to a restaurant to eat healthier and he sat there and ordered the same type of shit he could have got at the fast food restaurant? Or how about this? How about the fact that they are now skipping the 2 showers that they take a month for the sake of food again? They have the nerve to sit here with a musty ass up in these people's establishments, stinking up the whole place like SpongeBob did in that one episode, all so they can eat food they can't afford. See, this is why I'm saying I'm not judging them for being homeless. I'm judging them for their actions. They also said that they have a whole bunch of junk food left over, but they don't want to throw it away. So James is gonna eat it.
James also went through all the food stocked up in the van. And we talked about throwing some of the stuff that's not healthy out, but that's really hard too, because when you're homeless, food's hard to come by sometimes. So James said he'll eat that stuff for me. Like, he told me that he's here for moral support, but, you know, he's still gonna eat how he wants.
Choices.
Because James doesn't want to lose weight, right? James is only here for support. And by God, if that means eating through $100 worth of Little Debbie snack cakes, then so be it. So, the big back brothers head back to Dr. Now for a weigh-in. And remember, the goal was to lose about 60 pounds, right?
I was at 672 last time, and I was supposed to lose 60 pounds, so I need to be at 612 today.
He gets on the scale. Dominic has lost about 23. Lord have mercy. Now, it's better than nothing, right? It's better than nothing. It's something, but it's not the goal. So they go back in the room, and Dr. Now comes in. And Dr. Now asks if they were able to get housing, and they're like, no, that didn't work out for us.
Were you able to get housing set up?
No, not yet. It's kind of hard trying to find a place. I called those numbers. They sent us to a place, but and there was long lines, and we didn't get to make it in. And then the next day we went back, they closed early. Yeah, so we didn't get to talk to anybody yet.
And then Dr. Now asked them about the diet. And Dominic has the gall to claim that he's only eating 1,200 calories a day.
What kind of changes you made in your eating habit?
I'm trying to stick to the under 1,200 calories.
Buddy, you would look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson by now if you were eating 1,200 calories a day, fool. So Dr. Now is like, well, what about finding work? Well, what about a job? Have you worked on that? Have you made any progress with that? Fucking really.
What about work? Have you tried to find work? Because the job market is so good in here, you can find jobs.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, by the end of the week, I expect to be working.
So they wrap this appointment up, and Dr. Now tells Dominic that he needs to do better. And he also gets on the brother James about doing the diet with his brother. And Dr. Now also sends Dominic to therapy. So next we see Dominic going to therapy. I'm not gonna go over this in detail. It was basically him explaining his trauma and his current situation. And then Dr. Paradise, the therapist, set up some goals for him, right? With the main one centered around trying to be more independent from James. But see, Dominic doesn't want to do that. And he's like, well, why would I want to do that?
But in terms of trying to separate myself more from James, I don't know about that. Dr. Paradise makes it sound like it's something simple, but he's my family and we stick up for each other.
Because y'all have an unhealthy, toxic ass, codependent ass relationship where y'all enable each other, not just with food, but with their passivity. Am I pronouncing that right? They're passive as fuck, okay? They're passive is what I'm trying to say. They're the brothers that bum together. They eat together, they sleep together, they stink together. So at this point, you're probably still feeling bad for them, right? You know, yeah, they kind of stupid, but they seem nice. They seem sweet. Well, just hold on, okay? Just let them cook for a little bit longer. So a little while later, we check in with the brothers again, who are saying that they're having a rough time. You know, we see them driving and these mofos talking about getting some fast food. So I already know that things are not going well.
Because me and James have just been having a hard time getting things figured out like we need. I need something before we sleep, so let's grab a bite real quick.
Dominic says that James has been doing some short-term temp jobs, you know, here and there, but it's just not consistent enough. And what they really need is for James to get a permanent full-time job that would solve all their problems.
James has been able to do a couple of short-term jobs that have helped us some with getting a little more income. What we really need is for James to find a job that's more permanent, that would give us consistent income. So James is trying to find that. And he's going to interviews at places as much as he can. Because if he gets a stable job, that would be the first big step we need.
If only James could do that. If only James could carry the team. What about you, bitch? What about you? You're 40 years old. You're not a child. Sitting there waiting on big bro to take care of you all the time with your big overgrown ass. Why don't you work on something for your own damn self? Oh, and they're back to eating fast food again because the restaurants got too expensive.
Eating at restaurants just got too costly. So fast food has been our only option. So I'm trying to just eat less since the food options aren't the best.
So it cuts to month 4, and they say that this month is going better for them. James doesn't have a permanent job yet, but he got enough temp jobs to afford a long-term motel for the month.
Things are going a little better for us this month. James has been able to get a lot of small jobs that have helped us pay for a long-term stay hotel with a kitchen in it. Because having a place to prepare food is basically essential for me to be able to do the diet. So James made it like his mission to provide this for me.
And Dom is like, James is working so hard for me, so I'm doing my part and I'm sticking to the diet. But it's like, shit, I can't eat nothing on this diet.
Thankful for all his support and how hard he's working for me. And that just makes me want to work extra hard so I don't let him down too. I'm trying to study the diet and only eat what's on it. And it constantly feels like nothing is. But what I'm learning is nothing we've been eating for years has been healthy. It's not like I thought we weren't eating bad. I just thought that it wasn't all bad.
Delusion. Convince yourself.
yeah, that's how it's supposed to feel, unfortunately. You know, I know it sucks, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. You better go eat your 4 ounces of lean protein and go sit down somewhere. So it cuts to month 5, and Dominic is back at Dr. Now's for another weigh-in. Now this time James is not with him because James has a job interview. So Dominic weighs in again, and I'm not expecting him to reach Dr. Now's goal, but I am expecting maybe, another 20 pounds of weight loss.
And I'm just praying hard that I got the goal and did it, because I really need this.
This mofo get on the scale and he ain't lost shit but 3 pounds. That ain't nothing but a fart. He's like, I don't know what happened. I know what happened. You weren't on the fucking diet. I think y'all got a few extra dollars in your pocket and you sat there and you ate that up. You balled out at Mickey D's and Burger King again. So he gets back there, and of course Dr. Now comes in and just chews his ass out. I mean, Dr. Now read him the house down, honey. He might as well just taken off his belt and whoop Dominic's ass.
Life is stressful. If you use food to deal with it, then you're gonna be 600 pounds. What happened to those papers I gave you to read?
I'm reading them.
Every day?
Yeah.
And every day you read them, you find out what you did wrong?
Yeah. I gotta find a way to work around the stress and find something I gotta find something else to do than eat.
That's what psychotherapy will help you with. And you need to start working with them to learn a healthier way to cope when you feel stressed, okay?
Okay.
You're eating 6 to 7 times what you should. So go over the diet again and go over the portion sizes again.
And Dom's lying ass is just sitting there stuttering, can't get a word out straight because he ain't used to being disciplined. He ain't used to being held accountable. So he's sitting there stuttering, lying his thick ass off, basically just telling Dr. Now what he thinks he wants to hear. And Dr. Now is like, bitch, you're saying that your situation is getting better? That y'all got a hotel with a mini kitchenette in that bitch? But you're still trying to make the same excuses? Like you're still not losing any weight? Even though you now have access to modern technology? So now that he got himself in trouble with Dr. Now, he gets an even harder goal. And this time he has to lose 40 pounds in 1 month.
I want to see you in a month this time because I want you to lose at least 40 pounds. You got that?
So Dom leaves Dr. Now's office once again, saying that he's gonna do whatever it takes and that he's gonna work harder than ever to reach his goal. You know, the usual bullshit.
I feel really bad because I'm letting Dr. Now down, but I don't know how I did worse this time because I know I was eating healthier than the last time. So I'll try to cut back on how much I eat at once. And I'll keep working with therapy too, because I know that's important.
And 1 week later, we see him doing some healthy grocery shopping by himself because the therapist wants him to be more independent. So he's been trying to work towards his therapy goals.
Shopping for myself at the grocery store. For the first time in maybe like 5 or 6 years, I went back for another session with Dr. Paradise. And he explained more what he means about separating from James, just in ways I need to be less codependent on him.
He's also considering reaching out to his dad, and I don't know if that's a good idea. You know, so you might not like what you find.
He also talked about doing other things he says will be very important for me. He thinks maybe reaching out to my dad and talking with him will help me start to reclaim some of my self-worth and bring me closure.
Dominic says that he's really trying this time, that he's taking steps forward, that he's determined to reach his goal. And a couple weeks later, we check in on him again. He claims that he is still doing well, that they are managing to afford the hotel for right now. He's even started to do the laundry on his own. Hold up, bitch. Hold the hell up.
I've just been continuing to work on things I need to move forward. I did the grocery shopping on my own, and I've also taken on doing the laundry for me and James.
Doing more for myself. And I'm going to start by doing my own laundry.
So you mean to tell me that James is the only one that does half an ass worth of work around there? You just now starting to do the laundry? That should have been your responsibility from the beginning, bitch. You're the stay-at-home mom. You're the trad wife in this situation. You're not working. I mean, I'm just kidding, but at the same time, I'm not, because like if I'm working and I come home and you ain't do shit all day, or not home, but to the van. I'm working and I come back to the van and you ain't did shit all day. You haven't even gone to the laundromat to clean up the 1 or 2 pairs of underwear we got, bitch. I'm just saying. So he's been going down to do the laundry, but guess what? There's a vending machine in the laundry room.
Oh, hey there, Daddy.
And it just whispers sweet nothings to him and seduces him. And sometimes he just has to get one of those stale ass snacks from the vending machine.
The only downside is that there's a snack machine in there too. And it's a bit of a temptation for me when I pass it going back and forth. And sometimes I give in just for something small, just to like tie me over.
But it's okay because, you know, there's a little gym down there. So he goes to get some exercise in, and that should balance everything out.
But to make up for the times I've given in, I also try to get in some exercise to balance my choices and like burn off the extra calories I got, even though it's just a little. But I'm gonna keep trying to do all the things I can to improve and get healthy.
Boy, if you can't resist a vending machine, you can't resist nothing. You spending $2 in quarters at the vending machine knowing damn well your brother had to work a half an hour for those $2. Then you're gonna get on the treadmill with some damn flip-flops for a few minutes thinking that's gonna balance it out? So it cuts to month 6 and it's time for the final weigh-in with Dr. Now. Notice how I said final weigh-in and there's no surgery approval yet. There's no talk of surgery. Dominic is just hoping and praying that he is close to this goal. He's just been working so hard and he needs this. And if only the scale can just be where it needs to be.
I thought I've done better than I have each time. And then, you know, I found out I haven't, and it's devastating to me. But I've worked hard on a lot of things this past month. And I know I still struggled at moments, but I put more into a lot of areas to help improve myself. So I'm just hoping it's at least better and close enough to the goal this time.
So Dominic gets on the scale again, and I'm guessing he's probably lost, you know, another couple pounds, but nothing significant. Tell me why this bitch gets back on the scale and he has gained back the 3 pounds he lost from last time.
So I'm just hoping it's at least better and close enough to the goal this time. But I'm terrified of what's gonna happen if I'm not. I have this pit in my stomach. I just can't believe it, and I don't know what this is gonna mean.
Y'all, do you know how much food you have to be eating to maintain 650 pounds? He's eating a full day's worth of calories for every damn meal. He's gonna talk about he got a pit in his stomach. Yeah, a fucking endless pit. So he goes back there to see Dr. Now, hoping that Dr. Now is somehow not gonna kick him out of the program. But what reason have you given him to keep you in the program, Dominic? And Dr. Now is like, okay, so you must be wanting to find out because you're doing a lot of fucking around. You want to explain to me what the hell is going on? And Dominic is like, I don't know. And Dr. Now is like, I'll tell you what's going on. You don't want to do the work.
So what's going on with your eating habits?
I'm not sure.
And Dominic was like, well, you know, our situation is harder than most. And Dr. Now's like, yeah, you're right. You know, it is harder than most. I will give you that. But you know what else is hard? Being homeless and maintaining 600 pounds.
The situation we're in is just hard, but I'm trying.
I know your situation isn't easy, but the reality is it is also hard for someone who is homeless to maintain 600 pounds.
Both you and your damn brother haven't done a damn thing. And then James has the nerve to speak up, talking about, I have lost weight. I've lost 50 pounds. Sitting there with his damn hands crossed over his belly. I lost 50 pounds. And Dr. Now is like, oh yeah, where, bitch? Where have you lost 50 pounds? What scale did you hop on? And James is like, Well, I was just guessing.
Both don't look like you lost much weight.
I did. 50 pounds.
Did you get too used to it?
I just eyeballed.
You're guessing wrong.
Dr. Now was like, well, I guess y'all are just a fucking hopeless goddamn lost case. That's what I fucking guess. You know what? Just shut the fuck up. Both of you. You're out of the damn program. You're out of the program. You can go to therapy. We'll continue giving you therapy, but that's about it. Y'all need to get your life together first. So don't come back up in my office until you're ready to grow up.
Neither of you are taking this very seriously. So at this point, there is no point in continuing if you're not going to start doing what you need. But we'll continue to provide you with psychotherapy as long as you continue going to that.
So Dominic leaves. He gets kicked out the program and he's like, man, I gotta come back and I gotta prove myself to Dr. Now. You know, I'm not gonna give up. And a few days later, we see Dominic again. He's filling out an application for affordable housing. And he says that he's been trying to take the steps to get his life together. And his plan is just to grind for the next 4 to 5 months and focusing on his weight loss and finding a place to stay so he can eventually get that surgery.
I've decided I'm gonna spend the next 4 to 5 months getting to where I need, so I could go back for an appointment at the end of that time and really impress him with everything I'll have done and accomplished by then.
And the episode just kind of wraps up, you know? He just ends up going to the lake and recording a message in remembrance of his mom, you know, claiming that he's gonna keep fighting. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. He didn't get surgery. He only lost like 20 pounds and he really didn't do shit for like 6 months. Now, as you all know, I did have to do a quick search for any updates on Dominic. The only social media I could find was from Dominic's IG, but it's privated. But I noticed, even though his Instagram is private, he got the nerve to have his Venmo account up there. So I did a tiny bit more digging, and I learned that this motherfucker started a GoFundMe a few years ago, where he was raising money to get an apartment. And they managed to raise over $11,000 to get this fool someplace to stay. And all he did was post one update with no pictures, claiming that he has an apartment now and he's down in the 500 and doing good. With no proof or nothing, the GoFundMe was already very vague and shady, and y'all sat up there and gave this man $11,000 without asking for more details or proof of anything? Why? Why did they give him $11,000? Because he was nice and he was sweet and he talked in a sweet and low voice like this, and they felt bad for him in his situation. Now, there's nothing wrong with feeling bad for Dominic, but y'all didn't hold the man accountable for anything. Dominic cashed out that money, posted a quick update, and dipped. He privated his social media and dipped, honey. He probably ate through that 11K by now. And I don't believe anyone's weight loss until they show some proof. I want to see some pictures. And he has the nerve to have his Venmo link up there. It's giving grifter. I'm sorry, but it's giving grifter. Anyway, that's all I could find. Hopefully these update segments will get a little bit better because I am in the middle of hiring a researcher for the channel. So hopefully these updates will improve in the future, but that's all I could find. That's all I got for now, y'all. I don't know what the hell he's doing in 2026. Now let's wrap things up with a Momo's Mindful Moment. And I'm not gonna lie, this one is going to be a little bit heavy for me. Let me just say this. A phase in your life can either just be a chapter of your life, or it can be your entire story. That's up to you. Your current situation does not have to define the rest of your life. See, Dominic was letting this chapter of his life become his entire story because he did not take enough initiative to progress. You have the power to change your life, bro. Now, I know the world sucks ass. I know it does, and I'm not gonna lie. It's hard out here, okay? It's hard out here for a pimp, and I know the odds are against you. The odds are really against us all. But I'm telling you right now, you do have the power to make progress in your life. Take it from me, someone who has changed their life, honey. Now, I was never homeless for an extended amount of time, but I did grow up extremely poor and underprivileged, honey. Okay, I was raised in the trenches. A lot of people say they grew up poor, but they don't know what poor is, honey. Okay, I grew up poor. And I've slept in my car before. I've slept on the ground of homeless shelters before, okay? I've had to wash my ass with nothing but a bucket of cold water and some damn dish soap. And I've been through a lot of fucked up shit in my life. And there was plenty of times in my life where I really felt like this shit was pointless. Like I was just hopeless. And if I never started believing in myself, then no lie, y'all, I would not be here today to tell y'all these jokes and make these videos for y'all. And that's just straight up. Like really, statistically, I really beat the odds. So trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. I want everyone watching this video to feel like they are empowered enough to make a positive change in their life, to become the best version of who they are. If you guys ever need any support from me, feel free to email me at any time. My email's in the description, and I will do my best to get back at you. I'm gonna keep it real with you, but I will do my best to show you a little bit of love and support because I really do mean that, bro. So please remember that you have the power to progress. You do not have to be stuck in this chapter of your life if you're going through something right now. You don't have to do it. There is more for you out there. I promise you that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you double check and make sure that you subscribe and you like the video because you know Nova always double checks, honey. I will see you guys in the next one. Again, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Bye.
I wake up and I eat, my enabler brings a feast. Blame my trauma, blame my past, blame my anxiety. Call doctor now, tell him lies, throw a fit and then I cry. Yeah, I know it's do or die, but you don't know what it's like. Let me tell you about my 600-pound life.